So, ZBCN is sitting at about half a cent right now. The breakout level? It's actually just a bit above where we are at the moment. But honestly, the question isn't whether this setup looks good, it's whether anyone is actually going to show up and push it through. Because, spoiler alert, a pretty chart means absolutely nothing without volume. What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I break down crypto news with actual analysis, not hopium, not moonboy nonsense, just the data and what it actually means. So if that sounds good, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe, because we've got a lot to unpack today. Let's get into it. Zebec Network just announced a partnership with Kotapay, which is the payments arm of First International Bank and Trust. Now, before your eyes glaze over, here's why this actually matters. Kotapay handles payroll for companies across all 50 US states. We're talking direct deposits, tax payments, vendor transfers, the boring stuff that, honestly, keeps the economy running. And now, they're integrating blockchain payroll through Zebec. This isn't some random DeFi protocol promising to revolutionize payments from a Discord server. This is a regulated US bank plugging into blockchain infrastructure. According to Zebec's CEO Simon Babakani, the partnership leverages new regulatory clarity from the Genius Act, a law passed earlier this year that officially recognizes stablecoins as legal tender when they're issued by licensed banks with proper reserves. So what does this mean? Banks can now legally handle stablecoins. That means companies can pay employees in dollars or stablecoins, settle it through traditional ACH networks, and stay fully compliant. No gray zones. No regulatory Russian roulette. Just infrastructure meeting innovation. And here's my take. This is exactly the kind of adoption crypto needs. Not another meme coin, not another Ethereum killer. Actual real-world integration that solves real problems, like payroll delays, cross-border inefficiencies, and settlement costs. If Zebec executes this properly, they're not just building a product, they're building a bridge between TradFi and DeFi that doesn't collapse the moment regulators sneeze. But, and you knew there was a but coming, there's a massive gap between a great announcement and actual price movement. Because while the fundamentals look promising, the technicals are sitting in limbo. ZBCN is forming what analysts are calling a double bottom pattern, also known as a W formation. And if you've been in crypto long enough, you know this pattern can either launch a token into the stratosphere or fake everyone out and dump straight into the abyss. Market analyst Moon God posted a chart breakdown showing two distinct lows around 0.0037 and 0.0038, with a neckline resistance at 0.0048. The setup's been cooking since late August. The moving averages? Yeah, they're pointing up. The structure? Honestly, it's textbook, but here's the problem: volume. Or, more specifically, the lack of volume. Right now, ZBCN is trading at $0.00451, down about 2.4% on the day, and it's holding above its 20-day and 50-day EMAs. That's good. But the volume during this consolidation phase is, well, kind of anemic. It's like watching a car revving in neutral. Sure, it sounds impressive, but it's not going anywhere until someone actually puts it in gear. According to the analysis, a confirmed daily close above $0.0049 to $0.0050 would validate the breakout. That's the magic number. That's where bulls need to prove they're serious, because if they don't, we're just sitting in a range between 0.0042 and 0.0049 until, honestly, traders get bored and move on to the next shiny thing. And here's where it gets spicy. If ZBCN breaks down below 0.0040, this entire setup gets invalidated, the pattern fails, the hopium evaporates, and everyone who bought the breakout early gets a masterclass in why patience matters. So, where does that leave us? Let's talk numbers. The RSI is currently sitting at 54.8. That's neutral territory, neither overbought nor oversold. Historically, ZBCN's major rallies have started once RSI pushes above 60, which means we're close, but not there yet. The 100-day moving average is at $0.00406. The 200-day is at $0.00350. Both are trending upward, which confirms the broader trend is constructive, but, and this is critical, momentum is mild right now. The setup is valid, but it's not confirmed. A well-known technical analyst pointed out that double bottom patterns like this one succeed roughly 60% of the time when accompanied by strong volume. Without volume, that success rate drops significantly. So, here's my expert take. The Kotapay partnership is fundamentally bullish. It's the kind of institutional integration that separates projects with staying power from the pump and dump noise. But the chart is basically shrugging at us right now. It's saying, yeah, I could break out, or I could just consolidate for another month, surprise me. If you're bullish on ZBCN, the play here is simple. Wait for confirmation, don't front-run the breakout, don't FOMO into a coin trading at $0.00451 just because someone drew a chart with a 750% target scribbled on it. Wait for that daily close above 0.0049. Wait for volume to actually show up. Because if this thing breaks out with conviction, you'll have plenty of time to catch the move. And if it doesn't, you'll be very glad you didn't buy into resistance. Now, let's talk about that 750% target for a second. Where does that even come from? The measured move from the double bottom pattern. If the lows are around 0.0037 and the neckline is at 0.0048, the difference is roughly 0.0011. You project that same distance upward from the neckline, and you land somewhere in the 0.0059 to 0.0060 range. That's the initial target. The 750% number assumes a sustained rally beyond that, which would take ZBCN closer to 0.034. Is that realistic? In a bull market with strong fundamentals and narrative-driven momentum? Sure. In a sideways, low-volume market where retail is exhausted and institutions are still sitting on the sidelines, not so much. Context matters. Right now, we're in a phase where good news gets priced in fast, and then everyone forgets about it. So unless this Kotapay partnership starts generating real revenue, real adoption, and real headlines, that 750% move is more of a maybe in 2026 scenario than a buckle up. We're going vertical situation. Let's zoom out for a second and talk about why this partnership actually matters beyond the price action. Blockchain payroll isn't a new idea. We've seen projects try this before, but most of them failed because they couldn't integrate with traditional banking systems. They were building rockets in a world that still runs on railroads. Zebec's approach is different. They're not trying to replace the system, they're plugging into it. Kotapay's infrastructure gives Zebec access to ACH networks, wire transfers, and tax compliance frameworks that are already in place. That means companies don't have to rip out their entire payroll system to adopt blockchain payments. They just layer it on top. It's elegant, it's practical, and most importantly, it's scalable. Now, does this mean every company in America is going to start paying employees in stablecoins tomorrow? No. But it does mean the infrastructure is being built, and in crypto, infrastructure always comes before adoption. We saw it with Bitcoin, we saw it with Ethereum, and we're seeing it now with stablecoin payments. The genius of this partnership is timing. The Genius Act passed earlier this year, which means regulators have finally given banks the green light to handle stablecoins without fear of enforcement action. That's huge, because up until now, most banks were too scared to touch crypto. Now, they're actively exploring it, and Zebec just became one of the first movers in this space. From a risk-reward perspective, ZBCN is interesting. It's not a top 10 coin, it's not going to move the entire market, but it's also not some random low-cap gamble with no fundamentals. It's a project with real partnerships, real use cases, and a chart that's setting up for a potential breakout. The key word there is potential. Here's the thing. Most traders lose money because they confuse potential with probability. A coin can have all the potential in the world, but if the market doesn't care, it doesn't matter. Right now, ZBCN is in that weird zone where the fundamentals say buy but the technicals say wait. And when that happens, the smart move is always to wait. Alright, that's all I've got for you today. Zebec's partnership with Kotapay is a legitimately big deal for blockchain payroll adoption. The chart's forming a bullish pattern, the fundamentals are improving, but confirmation is still missing, so keep this one on your watch list. Wait for that daily, close above 0.0049, and don't let FOMO cloud your judgment. If you enjoyed this breakdown, check out my other videos on my channel. And as always, drop a comment below with your thoughts on ZBCN. Are you bullish? Skeptical? Let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. I'll see you in the next one. Quick reminder, this is not financial advice. Crypto is volatile, risky, and you can lose everything you invest. Always do your own research. Never invest more than you can afford to lose, and consult a financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Stay safe out there.